Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Impractical Machinist podcast. My name is Patrick. You can find me on Instagram as @JobShopperTM.
And I'm Cameron from Machining is Cool. Wherever you're listening, we'd appreciate it if you give us a 5-star rating.
I'm Bradley with Marvel Machining. Also, if you're on YouTube, be sure to give us a like and subscribe to the Practical Machinist YouTube channel.
On this episode, we're joined by Randall Uerkvitz, a U.S. Army veteran and director of the machine shop at Workshops for Warriors. Randall is here to share his story as a student and now instructor of this program, which helps members of the armed forces find their post-service career. Randall, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing outstanding. Thank you.
You bet. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us today and to kind of share your story and the story of Workshops for Warriors. And of course, thank you for your service. So I guess to get started, would you want to kind of just tell us what the goal of Workshops for Warriors is?
Well, certainly. Like you were saying pretty much in your intro, it's get training military veterans and giving them sustainable, worthwhile careers in the manufacturing industry. That is one of the main focus, but ultimately it's not just for the individual only, it's for the benefit of American manufacturing as a whole. So, when we are addressing all these individual students, we do so with the first thing is we're very mission oriented, and that mission is, to give these people, young men and women, sustainable careers in manufacturing. So that's always where we're coming from, where we hold ourselves very accountable, and the way we're presenting information and the way we teach classes, we're always evaluating ourselves and trying to come up with better and newer and better ways and trying to stay abreast with the industry as the industry changes and progresses.
That's very good. I mean, it's an honorable goal to have. We've had at least one other veteran on our podcast before. Charles Sanborn was an Air Force vet.
Uh-huh.
And he mentioned how kind of moving from the service to the civilian world, he had his own business to go to, so it wasn't hard for him. But for a lot of his fellow service members, it was a difficult thing to do. You go
Right.
from that, what you've been trained to do for so long, to the civilian world, which is a lot different.
Completely.
Exactly. And, Cameron is a Marine Corps vet, so he's got a little experience with this as well. And it's great that there's a program out there to help people that serve our country to move into that world a little bit easier. I was just going to say it's a very commendable thing that you guys are doing as your organization.
Right.
I was just going to go off what you said, Pat, here. Like, what are some of the big challenges veterans face when transitioning into a civilian manufacturing role?
It's the whole spectrum, actually. A lot of people have difficulty with housing. You're coming from a situation in the military where everything is provided for you, and you have your role, and you know what your role is and what you do. When you transition out here, all of a sudden, it's like this feeling of a lack of structure. You don't have these things in place, and you're not sure where to go to find these answers and to get the information that you need to do to get yourself set up in life out here. So that seems to be a really big part of the challenge, is that lack of the structure. And these days, I know when I got out of the military, that was in the late 80s. And back then there was nothing. You went home. That was it. Go home. And it was really rough back then. And I'm thankful for this organization that I'm a part of now, because I wished it was around when I got out, So I think that it's really something that's more than just worthwhile. To be an employee here at Workshops for Warriors is, you're not here because you want a paycheck. You're here because you believe in what we do with all your heart. And that goes from every employee in this organization, from no matter what their job position is, we all have our heart in the same place. Very mission oriented, very mission driven. So, like you were saying, these issues of whether it be housing, whether it be whatever it is, employment or direction. That's what we're here to fill. Now, when students do come to us, I think that, of course, primarily, what is it? They're trying to get trained into a career that's going to sustain them and their family, that they'll be able to provide for them. But we address the full situation. When students start, we're asking them day one, what is your problems? What is your life issues that you may have other than school? Because we want to train you to the best of our ability and give you the best chance that you have in this industry. And we believe that if you are worrying about where is my food going to come from, or how am I going to be housed and while I go to school, that is distracting away from that, you being the 100% student that we want you to be. So we address all these issues right from the start. We have other organizations that help us and give us resources to provide students with whatever they need so that they can sit there in that classroom comfortably and learn to the best of their ability.
That's really cool. It's great that you guys look at the full picture too, instead of just saying, all right, here's your classes, you show up at this time, leave at this time. And then
Right.
and I mean, nobody's going to understand the full picture better than somebody who's been through it. And it sounds like most of the people working there are veterans too.
Yes.
Because I mean, like you said, going from having structure to no structure at all, and then just trying to figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
Not a good way to go, especially if you're struggling with something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a difficult situation, especially if you're a young man that has a lot of pride in yourself. It's difficult to ask for help or even to know where that help, where that help lies. We reach out so much now to all the branches of service, and we're trying to make ourselves known across the country that we're the place to come and get training. And so the more information that's presented to these young men and women when they're transitioning out, the better off it'll be for them. It'll be a smoother transition. There's veterans that start here and they say, oh, I feel like I'm right at home instantly. And like you're saying, I believe that's part of that strong structure of having so many veteran employees working here.
Yeah. It's also nice to get out too and then go somewhere where there's a bunch of other veterans.
Yeah.
Even if you're all from different branches or whatever, it's still, you have that common ground.
You do. And you have a lot of humor and jokes about it as well too. So
right.
It's a fun environment,
That's something that, if you go to a normal trade school or a normal college, you try telling some of those same jokes or having the same humor, it's not going to go over well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's just a part of our character being, military veterans. And we like to have that humor amongst us. And it's a different atmosphere. I don't believe that, actually, just, whatever I believe is what I believe. But we've had so many employees over the years, me being affiliated here now for 10 years or so, 11 if you're counting as a student. So over these 10 years, I've seen so many people start employment here that said, I've never worked anywhere like this before, where we have that kind of that mission drive and that sense of humor. And we come and we're very serious about what we do.
Another thing too is that helps make that transition a lot less intimidating, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you're going to go somewhere with people like you.
Yeah.
Honestly, like there's no way I would have gone to a college whenever I got out.
Absolutely right. You and me both, sir.
I mean, I wasn't cut out for college in the first place. I barely graduated high school, but even still, I was very hurt by the people that were at colleges, and that was my outsider's perspective. So if I had gotten there, maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. But I just felt like I wasn't going to get along with any of those people or really have any common ground with those people.
That's normal.
Yeah. And so if I could have gone to a place like, and you guys were around, I just hadn't heard about you yet, but gone to a place like that where it's like, all right, cool. So it's all veterans working there, running this place. They care about the big picture. They're going to make sure you're taken care of if you just get there, show up. And then also, like whenever you get out and you're just kind of figuring everything out on your own, you go somewhere like that with other veterans. I mean, everybody gets it and everybody has each other's backs. And
correct.
So you're like, man, I don't know how I'm going to figure this thing out, this life problem I got going on or whatever it is.
Right.
You can just talk about it to to the people you're going to school with, and they're going to help you.
Yes, indeed. That is true. Where there is that camaraderie, and you get a lot of support, not only from staff, like you're saying, that comes from the students to each other as well. There's that camaraderie already in place. So
Yeah.
it's very beneficial.
Yeah. How rewarding is it for you?
Okay, well, now you went there. Okay, so this is the only thing in my life that really matters to me whatsoever, actually. I mean, any aspect of my life outside of workshops, well, that's up for question, but when I'm here and I'm doing what I do, I can't even accurately describe in words that satisfaction of helping somebody to try to learn this craft, in the machine shop, for instance, and I'm trying to teach you how to run this machine, how to troubleshoot code, how to understand this, how to do that. And that moment when you see that light go on, when they see the whole picture and they're like, oh, I get to
Yeah.
see that. I get to see that every semester. I get to see this, like, it's almost like living vicariously through these young men and wishing that when I was young, I would have been that bright and paid that kind of attention like they are. And I'm just so proud of them all. And I get to see this, and it's just it's beyond, I mean, when I was in a machine shop and I was parts jockeys, running parts and doing that. And I got, of course, after a given amount of time, you're going to get good at something. And I was pretty good at it, at getting those parts, holding tolerance, doing things well. And there was a great satisfaction from that, wow, I can do this. I learned how to do this, and I learned how to do it well. And I feel like I'm valuable to the organization and in my role that I'm doing that. But the satisfaction that you get from teaching and sharing knowledge and seeing people come alive, and see people that you remember their first day ever on a machine, right? And years and years later, they come back and they say, wow, I'm a fifth axis programmer for Boeing now. And they make me look like I know absolutely nothing. And I'm so happy about it, I could cry,
Right.
All
That's
my
awesome.
children,
Yeah. Were you in any kind of a mentorship or teaching role at any shops you were at before you got to workshops?
Absolutely not. If you would have told me, when I began this process of coming here, if you would have told me that then that you're going to be teaching this and you're going to be like, I would laugh at you and say, you must be kidding me, right? So it's even a mystery to me how it happened, but it is just such a heartfelt thing. It just came from the heart. And I believe that a good portion of that was the organization that I was in, the way that we have concern for fellow veterans, the way that we have. So it became more of functioning through the heart as opposed to the mind, and pretty soon I found myself being able to explain things really well and come at things from a unique perspective when I'm teaching people certain things about things. I'm not a classroom educated individual. I am not a person who learns from sitting at a desk and doing this. I had to learn everything the hard way. I put my hands on things and I learned a lot of what not to do. And it's good. I can transition that. I can explain things in a different way that's not as classroomish and help you understand things in a different way. And I don't know, it just happened on its own, sir.
Yeah.
It all just conglomerated and became that.
It's a labor of love.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. There you go. This career path is not for everybody, Ultimately, what I try to do right at the beginning of everything is I'm trying to get you to love this the way I love this. Because if I get you to love this the way I love this, the rest takes care of itself. It's not even, you won't even realize it that you're giving me 100% every day, all the time, just because I showed you what this is, the love of craft is something that I try to do right away. And I've seen even this semester, for example, I mean, we're like in our first week, and I am here hour before the school day starts, hour and a half or so before the school day starts. And I've already got students coming in and meeting me at the door at, at 6 a.m., volunteering an hour of their free time to come in and put hands on the machine and get comfortable with it. And boy, that's just a reward in itself. It's a pleasure, to see two gentlemen come in this morning early. I told them, hey, if you guys ever want to come in early, here's my number. If you're outside the door, just give me a ring. I'll let you in, and we'll get going on these machines. And I get takers every semester. It's like a blessing from beyond and above. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, the fact that you carry that passion, that you have for it, and it seems like a lot of your students kind of either have it or they get that from you as well. The three of us love machining, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
Cameron's social media handle is machining is cool. So we all love it, and kind of reigniting people to have a passion for their career is something that we need, because a lot of
Yeah.
people don't have that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree anymore. And, to feel when your life is doing something that you love, wow, that it's not even work anymore at that point. You're just being, what is machining? It's arts and crafts on a supersonic level, and the potential behind it. And you see every year the technology just, upping and upping and upping, and the ability and the capability, it's just is the most beautiful career. And in my personal opinion, is the most beautiful career in the world, so, and to be able to try to share that and transfer that to other people and spread that, that love of craft is phenomenal. I love it.
So what are some of the things you do to get people to love it the way you love it? Because I have to teach people at the shop too, when we hire guys, off the street.
Uh-huh.
Like that's maybe one of the key things that I'm missing.
You gotta give them a hug, Cam.
Yeah. Give them a hug when they come in the door. No, I don't. That's a good question, and a lot of, and I've been asked that question before. Is, well, how do you go about doing that? I can't explain that to you. It just comes from. I think that one of the primary differences between you and I was that my past circumstances. I was no angel, and I did a lot of wrong, and I did in most of my life. I was a mess. I was a disaster, and it took me to be an adult, well, beyond an adult. I mean, I was already old before I'd finally had enough of living that lifestyle and doing that kind of things. And I just was hoping and praying to find something that, that I would be able to do that was going to keep me straight and keep me in line. And when that's, through various circumstances, I heard about this place. And first off, I had to remember I was a veteran to begin with. And once that was pointed out to me, and I was like, oh, that's right, and I ended up throwing caution to the wind and coming here as a student. And all the student base at that time was young men, young guys just coming out. And here I am, this old man. I was like Civil War era military, black powder musket or whatever. And so I had this strong feeling inside me at that time when I began as a student, that this is my last chance, that if this doesn't work, I'm done, that this is. Now, whether that was true or not, it was true because I felt that way. So it I had to do everything possible to make sure that I did this and that it transitioned into something, And so when you or when someone else is speaking about machining, or when I'm speaking about machining, we're all speaking about it from our past, experience of it. And machining saved my life, machining, uh, I wasn't I was not the brightest. I wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. And I made a lot of mistakes and I had to learn the hard way, but boy, I'll tell you, man, when I started getting that love of, who in this world would ever think that you could say something like, oh, I love math, I was not that kind of a person whatsoever, but numbers started taking on a whole different meaning for me, man. Geometry and my past experience of machining was one of this saved my life. And I fell in love with it. And I really didn't believe that I was ever going to program or anything like that due to, the who I was previously in my life. So I just threw everything on those machines. Like, I want to be a good driver. I was, and someone says to me, parts jockey, I was proud of that, because
Yep.
I got really good at it, and I was running different machines and making minute adjustments. And just felt like I was on cloud nine. It was the first time in my life that I ever had any real meaning where in my heart, I felt good about the direction I was going. And I'll never forget the first day that, and back then the machine shop that I was in was a very small. And so to run a machine, you had to wear a lot of hats. You were the setup guy, you were doing everything. And, but that's the thing about Sparta, right? They make Spartans. And so I got pretty good at it and feel so good. And I'll never forget that first time that I completed a job on time with like, a couple of setup pieces and no scrap and just, and that order went out early and everyone was so happy. And the girls upstairs were like, oh my God, Randall, thank you. It was so great. And, when I left the shop, there used to be an alley behind us, right? And I walked out into the alley and I was leaking some tears, because I just was so happy about that, And so when someone asks me, well, how do you spread that love? I don't know, brother. I really don't know, man. It just comes out of me, man. And I just love this so much that, I don't know. And there's always those takers, man. I mean, like if I'm a radio tower putting out a signal, there's those receivers that are just like, wow, and I'm like, oh, I got you, man,
You're sharing the love in what you're saying right now. We can hear the passion in your voice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
How often do you have students that just hate it, just have no interest in it?
Oh, it happens. It happens. And there's those, there are some students that start with the ulterior motive, they want to get the pay for, to just come here and they think that they can come here and just treat it like it's summer camp or something. And like anything else in life, honestly, it's, you're going to get out of something what you put into it, And I've always told students from the start in the machine shop portion of the course, that's like, if you give me 100%, I'll give you 200% guaranteed. Check it out and try me out on that one and see, And but there is true that there are some students that come that have ulterior motives and they're not willing to commit to it on that kind of level, And how this industry is and it's a beautiful industry, man. And the more you put into it and the more effort you put into it, it's you're going to see the rewards from that, And I mean, there was even, we had an honor graduate last semester, a young man that was, he was fantastic, and when he started, he's like 99.9% of all of our other students. They've never even heard the word CNC before. They have no idea of X from Y from Z, but this young man gave it everything. And wow, what in the progress that he made is just, it's fantastic. And to see a student, complete the curriculum ahead of time. And then, boy, then we can go into other things, then I'm going to try to take you and show you some new vistas, so just, so that to me, that outshines the couple that are here for other reasons, but you're always going to get that. That's just, I believe that's a part of life, But if you give us 100%, we're going to show you what you can do.
Are there students that come from particular branches that are more of a pain in the ass to deal with? Can you kind of, guys coming in from here, we're going to have to.
Well, I mean, we're based here in San Diego, right? And back in my day, I was the brunt of all jokes coming from an Army background, because I mean, here in San Diego, everybody was Marine and Navy. That was it. So, and so I mean, but it was all in good nature, I mean, we would. But I was literally an army of one, and and as the years have progressed, there's oh so many of us now, and we do a lot better with outreach now. The better that we become at reaching out to these other branches, the more we're seeing students from Army, Air Force. We even have some coasties here and there, We haven't had a Space Force yet. We're still waiting on one of those. I don't know. Eventually, someday, I'm sure that might happen. But I don't. I've seen greatness in all branches of the service. I've seen Navy guys just take to it and rip it up. I've seen Marines just come in here with dedication and discipline and they already know that they're going to apply themselves to the fullest. I've seen it out of all the branches of the service. It's fantastic, It's just, I try to explain that right away, that I'm here to help you, and I will give you everything I got, but you have to do that as well. You have to give it all you got, and we'll see some fantastic results if you do that, So. And like I say, all branches, I've seen greatness in all of them. So
are you guys getting as far as getting the attention of veterans or soon to be veterans?
right?
Like I know when I was getting out, which was in 2018, I don't know if it's still the same way. We had TRS,
Oh yeah.
which previously Steps and Taps, I think.
hmm
And there was, random companies that would come in and be like, "Hey, here's who we are. Here's what we do. Come to us."
Right.
Or schools do the same thing. Are you guys doing that?
Yeah, that's definitely what we're doing. We go to different posts around here in the San Diego area where there's other employers doing that, and we go there and we put out that message as well. There's a lot of many employers that are looking to hire veterans, so that's a strong thing. Especially law enforcement seems to be really prevalent in there. Sheriffs, SDPD. There's a lot of law enforcement things like that, but we are something that's kind of unique. I'm sure there's other trade schools all around this country, but I think the way we do it and what we do, and I think we're pretty unique. So it's easy for me to go, if I ever go on an event like that and speak about this place, it's, quite easy.
Yeah. So how big is a normal class size?
Yeah, it varies. It depends, right now, as it sits, machining 1 has always been our bread and butter. Over the last 2 to 3 semesters, we've initiated machining 2, and we've even got machining 3 up now, prototype in 5th axis, and we're working through getting that all ironed out as well. So machining 1, on average, you could have up to 20 to 25 students a semester, 16-week semester. And machining 1, you're all parts that you're running in the shop, everything is hand coded. We want you to be fluent in G&M code and understand from the ground up. So everything is hand programmed. And then when you get into, but also you have the CAD and the CAM as well, SolidWorks Associate, Master CAM certification. So you're involved in that as well in machining 1, but now in machining 2, everything is SolidWorks, Master CAM, and 3+1. And, so we're fleshing our way through this right now. And so there was 2 students that we had from Machining 1 last semester, and that's what I'm doing, Machining 1, teaching people, in the shop. And we had some students from that course transition into Machining 2. So we're developing it right now as we go along, and we're seeing some really good results. We're happy with what we're seeing. So, but like I say, we are mission driven, and we want to exceed our own expectations all the time. So we're always evaluating and trying to come up with better ways, and how can this work here? Or maybe we can initiate that there, or put this there. And it's also just being part of that and seeing that process it's fantastic. It's amazing.
Yeah. What are some things that you guys need help with? Like, is it funding? Is it tooling? Or you guys got it covered?
Oh, well, we're looking to expand. We're opening up a new facility down the street from us. We're having this building built, and the expense is phenomenal. But then the machine shop currently, as it sits right now, as we are, I've got me, 4 VF2s and 1 ST10. That new building we're building, we're talking about 40 machines in there. The building is nearing completion, but funding is always a major issue. And anybody who's listening to this, if you believe like we do in American manufacture and supporting our veterans and training people up and making American manufacturing great, please join our family. You can contact us on the website, and even if it's just whatever, emotional support, or just be with us, join our family, reach out, see what we're about. And but funding is always an issue because we're always trying to get better. And
Right.
it's going towards something that we passionately believe in. And anyone who really understands what's going on with American manufacturing and the circumstances and what we're trying to do as a nation now, I'm sure that you would understand exactly where we're coming from.
I'm curious, Randall. Obviously, we're machinists, so we're focusing on machining. Are there
Yes.
some other courses that Workshop Warriors offers?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There's the welding course as well, and that's the other half of the house. And I know they do a fantastic job, but I am not qualified to speak about welding, about what they're doing with their curriculum. But they seem to have larger class sizes than machining. It's the machining course. I mean, if you imagine 16 weeks and getting to run a machine proficiently and understanding G&M code, generating code, running qualification parts, SolidWorks, going through CSWA, and then MasterChem, it's a lot of information in a short amount of time. And so the people that want to do that more, we're hoping always that those are people who understand that. And we're telling you right away that this is a lot of information, but we're never leaving anyone hanging. If you're giving me 100%, I'm giving you 100% no matter what. I give you more than that. And so if you're struggling, but you're giving it all, we're right there with you, making sure that you get that information that you need to get and understand it in a way that you can understand it. So, but the welding course is fantastic. They have larger class sizes than us, and they put a lot of welders out there into the field.
Do you want to go back and tell us what pushed you into the Army and what you did during your service?
Oh, all right. Well,
Kind of
okay.
story.
Do you want to hear the truth or not? I mean, so
Yeah, truth.
okay. Well, we'll try to rock it with the truth then. So back in the early 80s, I had found myself in a very troublesome situation that was really like, might get gone on this one. And so I left San Diego, and back in those days, hitchhiking was still a thing. You stick out your thumb and get out of town, right? And I ended up hitchhiking, and I had landed in this little crazy town in the middle of Kansas, and they thought I was an exotic creature from another land or something, and got in trouble over there and ended up going into the Army. So, which was a blessing, actually, and I became a single channel radio operator in an infantry unit. And I love 25th Infantry, man. Schofield Barracks, Hawaii. And it was an amazing experience because every unit you go to or in wherever in this country, I'm sure of any branch of the service, that you're going to feel that tradition of that place, and it was a pleasant, and to this day is a pleasant memory, of Army. Infantry Army is infantry Army. And I remember when I heard I was going to Hawaii, I was like, oh, yay, I'm going to Hawaii. Infantry is infantry wherever you go. And Hawaii just happens to be more humid and hot, man. And yeah, but it was, yeah. And then back in those days, everything was jungle. So, went to every rotten jungle you could imagine in this planet. Like we went to Panama and everywhere else, man, but great unit, man. 25th Infantry was fantastic, So, I mean, that was how I ended up going there and being an Army veteran. And it was the best thing that accidentally ever happened to me in my life, because it led me to all these years later to being here, I mean, so life works out in a funny way, and even in the machining aspect as well, I remember when I was running production and started off, parts and handing something to the QA guy and saying, with my fingers crossed and being like, and I remember thinking back then, wow, if I was teaching this, I would present it like this, or I would explain things differently, or I'd give the bigger picture than just this, and I would do this and that. And then life in its infinite funniness is like, here we are all these years later. It's like, okay, man, there you go. Let's see it, so,
Well, the ability to maintain that love that you had for it over the length of time you've been involved with it is good too. A lot of people, as they spend more time in the trade, they tend to get burnt out. Sometimes it just takes the right person to sort of reinvigorate that in somebody.
nice. Yeah.
And I can see you being that person, Randall.
I
Right?
give it my best, believe me, I love what it
Mhm.
is we do, and I'll do whatever it takes to try to make everyone enjoy it the way I enjoy it, And
Mhm.
I mean, like I say, there was a great satisfaction, in being able to run production and do it well. But man, to share this love and open that heart, man, and have and share that with other people it's a beauty beyond,
Everybody needs some purpose.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
to be good and to be proficient at something, it's a great thing. It's a great thing personal. This is something beyond something personal, This is
Yeah.
finding a purpose that I was lucky enough to blunder into and to just, I don't know, it's so easy to ride that wave here because I'm seeing new faces every semester, and you see the other class graduate and they go away, and guess what? Week later, here we are, day one, and it's just it's beautiful, man. I couldn't ask for anything more in life. I'm not a person who is concerned with money, like, oh, I need to have the best pad. I don't care. I need to love my life. And man, woo, that's what I'm doing, sir. That's what I'm doing.
So, what years did you serve, Randall?
Oh, that was 1985 to 1989. Yep.
Okay. So you just barely missed out on Desert Storm, huh?
Yeah, I was out just barely. Yeah,
Mhm.
barely before there, man. I was out in '89, and
Mhm.
yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, at that time, when I got out, there was, like I said, there was no support. There was,
Mhm.
it was like, go home, go home. I mean, go home to what? I mean, and so I ended up coming home and picking up with the same people I knew from before, and ended up doing all those things that put me in trouble in the first place. And and I continued on that road for a long time. But that's why I say, I hope you can see all these different facets of this gym we're talking about, about what we do here and why. I mean, it's so much more than just, the career. It's getting people to feel good about their lives, and to be productive, and feel, and to join us in this effort about American manufacturing. It's fantastic.
Start the workshop for warriors. What was your first year there? When did you start your class?
That was the summer of 2014.
Okay.
So back then, at that time, I was in a place where they were able to give me this little a temporary job as security in a veterans homeless shelter. And so I was shaking people down at the gate, and I'm expert at seeing drugs and alcohol, and so I did that job for a little while, but it was only a temp job. It was not going to be permanent, but I felt good. I was working and I was doing the right things, and and I got some notoriety out of it from the place that was running the veteran homeless shelter, and they promoted me to a coordinator. Now, as a coordinator, you're tasked with trying to help. They give you so many of those homeless veterans, and you're tasked with trying to help them find housing and whatever kind of services they may need. And some of those services were in employment, and that's how I heard about workshops for warriors. Is I was helping other people find things, and I'm like, and that light came on, like, maybe I should try this, and even though I felt like I should try it, I was terrified at the same time, because I really wanted to find something. I really wanted. I felt like it was my last chance to make a success out of anything, and so I came here, man. I did that, and at the time when I came here, I had just got an apartment from Section 8, and I had like a blanket, a spoon, a knife, a fork, a plate, a bowl, and a cup. That's how I started as a student here. And and as the course began, they were talking to us students even back then, and it was a lot smaller back then. We were way smaller than we are currently. And right away they were like, does somebody need a stipend? And they were able to help me get a stipend from the Haas Foundation. And I mean, from that moment, all the way until now, everything I have in life is from workshops and vet powers. So,
do you have any standout students that come back like that you're just overly impressed with where they've gone with it, that maybe own a massive business or running some sort of crazy $10 million machine or something?
Oh man, there's those there. Yeah, of course there is. I could name so many names of people, and they don't even know how much they helped me. I mean, they're thinking that I helped them, man. No, you helped me too, brother. You lifted me up in a way that just with your success, you lifted me up higher than, I remember before when I just felt like every day I just felt like I was so lucky, you are so lucky. And then as time has progressed now, I tend to agree with you, sir, that everything happens for a reason. And, I kind of fell into the groove I was supposed to be in, I believe.
Some people find their purpose early on in life, but it seems like you've certainly found yours, maybe a little bit later, Randall.
Well, to have a fantastic fourth quarter, I'll take it, Yeah, it's an amazing one, I'll tell you. Going from being totally skunked into just finding such purpose and such beauty. I mean, I'll take it, man. I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful to this organization for taking a chance on me and letting me grow and progress and support me and the students. Like I said, as much as they say that they could thank me, I thank them even more.
What brought you back to become an instructor? You went through the course, and
Mhm.
what was the period between going through the course, working at shops? How many shops did you work at, and what brought you
No.
back?
Oh, okay. Well, see, what happened then is even as it sits right now in the school, if you graduate, we have what they call the job fair, and there's an assistance with the resume, and there's the help with job placement. They're going to sit you down in front of employers, and you're going to present yourself and what you've accomplished during the course, and what replaces actual years of machining. Certification will get you in the door, but then you get you on the dance floor, but you're going to have to learn to boogie. So we that's just part of the way the school is now. Back in my day when I started as a student, there was that same skeleton in place. It was in its beginning stages, and they were like, okay, everyone, yay, we're going to do a resume. I'm like, uh-oh, like what, paper route when I was 12. And, I'm like, I think I'm screwed, And so with that in mind, I still had that survival instinct that we all have. And I said, I got to stay here somehow, some way. I got to stay here. And there's the other side of the house that we have, which is vet powered, right? And vet powered is a for-profit machine shop, and they have a maintenance department that goes out on maintenance calls as well. And their purpose is to help support the school. And that's what they do. And I was like, I want to work at the machine shop here. That's where I want to stay. And they were like, oh, okay, Matt, give you a chance, man. We'll bring you on board. And so I started in the machine shop at Vet Power, and that's where I stayed there for about 6 years. Yeah, I was there for like 6 years or so, and then there came a time where they said, we need someone in the machine shop for the students. There was only they were light on teaching assistants back at that time, and Vet Powered said, okay, you can go there for a semester. So I went there for a semester, and I was like, wow, it was so weird, to go back to the place that you learned your groove on. Had a couple more machines than back when I was a student, and so I did that for a semester, and they were like, well, we need him for another semester. And then I'd go back in the machine shop and say, well, we need him down here. And I'd go back down there, and I'd run production for a while. Then I need him back, and so I believe, though, that I'm workshops now. So that's kind of how that happened, is they just needed somebody at that time to come in and fill in and help students learn how to run machines and how to troubleshoot code and how to look at code, and in a funny way. And I not have that personal experience of being a student from that very school and felt the culture shock of going to a shop floor where it's about production, I did. And then the ability to go back now and be able to tell people about what it's all about and what to look for, and how to think, and, truly blessed.
So I just looked up the vet powered place. That's a decent sized shop. You guys got a lot of equipment over there.
Oh yeah. I remember when it was nothing. I remember I remember in the early days it was located on the same site where the school is right now. It was literally on the same campus in the back. And back then I think we had the VF6, the VF5, the VF4, ST20, ST30, and and that's where I walked into, man. And
Yep.
I was like, oh, they're going to be forgiving of me knowing that I was just a student. Oh no, baby, production is production, and so like I said, I just never gave up on myself, and I continued to learn how to turn those spindles and keep them turning. And man, and then we Vet Power moved from off the school campus and moved over to the building I'm sitting in right now, doing this with you now. And even after that, they bought the new building and then moved out of there down to that building. So, I've been here for enough of a time to see this place, like I was saying before, mission driven, and seen us always just growing, expanding, and doing what we do better all the time. And yeah, Vet Powered is a pretty good big shop now down there, man.
On that note, Randall, I mean, if someone wants to join your program, what's the biggest recommendation you have for them to help them get started?
It's hard for you to learn if you're too busy comparing yourself to somebody else. You're putting a block in your own way by doing that. But that seems to be something that goes way beyond veterans, sir. That seems to be a human trait, that you're always looking at that guy going, man, damn that dude, but that's part of life, and we try to help you through that, and try to help you realize that that's not going to help you. That's going to hurt you. Come and see the place. Because there's students who want to sign up, and they come and they call and they tour the facility. Come and see what we're all about. I mean, you can go onto a website and read everything that we do, right? But I'm telling you who we are, not what we do, who we are. You come here and you see that, who we are, and you'll see what we do and why we do what we do. And but as a starting student, you want to reach out and contact us and tell us that you're interested in the welding or in the machining program. I'm going to tell you that you need to treat this like it's your job, like you're beginning your job. Come here with a seriousness, all the fun in the sideline fun in the community that we have is always going to be there, but you are the author of your own future. So help us. Help me help you, man. Let's do this, So come here with pure intention to really want to work in this industry. And we're going to do everything we can do to help you get there.
I think maybe a good thing to do a follow-up from the podcast, like you said, come out and see the shop, come out and see what we have to offer. Maybe a Practical Machinist shop tour would be something we could do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the one who speaks on those decisions, but I mean, I can tell you right now that would be wonderful. I'm sure that they would be more than happy with that. Sure. Yeah. When you're a student coming out of the course, of course, hopefully that you were there to get a job. That's what we are here for, is not to get a job, to get a career. That's what we're trying to do, is give you a meaningful career, not just a job, And so we have a staff upstairs where that's their only mission, is to help you get into those kind of positions, and is it going to feel comfortable when you graduate? Of course, you're going to be nervous. You're going to be scared. It's a big transition. It's a big move, but we're always there to support you. And there's people that come here, let's say he wants to go back home to Michigan, we're going to help you with that too. We're going to help you we have a whole department that's just going to help you try to find that position that you want to get into. And remember now, man, something you had said about a student graduating the program is, so what happens when you don't land your dream job? Okay, you don't get you're going to have to step into a position, sir, and I think you gentlemen know it as well as I do that, to your the dream job is what comes from working at the other jobs and staying focused and being active in your own career growth and building up into that. And you're not doing it alone. Like I said, we're always here for you. You can say, okay, I've been here doing this for this long, and now I'm interested in doing more, and, we're right here to help you do that. Employers, you're you're talking about employers, I wish that every employer had that idea of saying, I want to get this young man and train him up. I want to get this young man and take him to as an investment and treat him as such, and give him that kind of concern and teaching that we would love to see, And we're very concerned about what type of employers we talk with. If somebody in the past has proven that they don't live up to what they're presenting, we don't invite them back as a potential employer, So we are very active in all aspects of it. Once again, mission driven, passionate about what we do, and getting these young men and women into careers, not jobs, into careers that's going to be beneficial for them. So, and like I say, as the years go on, I've seen us just grow and grow and grow. And now to see a new department that we have that's their only job, brother, is to be focused up on that aspect of what we do. So, nothing but better things to come all the time. But like I say, the support we need is always welcome, and anyone can call us and reach out to us and join our family, whether it's just coming to our events or just being a friend to us or whatever it is. But or financial support would be most welcome, But yeah, that's where we're at right now, and we are very concerned about the employers that we talk to, and we're also concerned in helping that student find a career, transition, and ultimately get into where they want to be for their dream job, whatever that may be for them.
One of our other fellow Practical Machinist contributors, Curtis, he's an Army veteran as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he was asking if Workshop for Warriors does anything with Skillbridge.
Oh, yeah. That's one of our main grooves right now, if you will. And that's when, like I say, we're right across the street from me, right behind me, right there is 32nd Street, one of the biggest naval stations here in San Diego. And when we go over there, we're talking to guys that still may have 6 months left on their, on that enlistment. And so Skillbridge is a real thing, like I say, this semester just barely started a week or whatever ago. I don't know. I lose track of time. I'm just involved with the people. I don't really, but it was like a week or so. And when they asked, how many people are active duty right now, I saw a good amount of hands out there, So Skillbridge is a real thing that we welcome, and we do on the regular basis, talk to your command and see if we can initiate that Skillbridge and get you going out here. Boy, what a smooth transition that would be, right?
Absolutely. That's wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, I told you, I love it. I'm in a place where I really, we believe it with all our heart, and we live it, and that's what we do, so.
Well, gentlemen, Randall, is there anything else that you would like to add before we wrap up?
Well, I'd like to say that it's been a pleasure. Been a pleasure talking to you guys. I love machining, man, and I love talking to you guys, and it's been a real good time, and I appreciate everything that you guys do as well, man. You guys are awesome. So thank you for being there, man.
Thank you, Randall. We are very pleased to kind of have the honor of sharing your guys' story, and I have no doubt that this is going to help someone.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. Thank you for being there. Absolutely.
Once again, Randall, thank you for everything that you're doing at Workshop for Warriors.
Thank
you. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
That's all for this episode of the Impractical Machinist podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or the Practical Machinist YouTube channel so you never miss an episode.
Also, if you would, give us a like or a 5-star rating if you enjoyed the episode. Drop a comment down below if you learned something or have a good tidbit of information to give to us. Maybe you can teach us something. But also spread the word. Share this with anybody you know who's interested in machining, fellow machinists, or anybody new to the trade.
Thanks for listening. Thanks to Workshop for Warriors for making this episode possible, and we'll see you next time. Keep those chips flying.